In live from the Pretoria High Court, Griselda Lewis. Griselda, more drama in this case. Advocate Mshololo says this document says these new people who were in the house must be charged. Will this happen? What does it mean for the trial?
Well, Desiree, I will get to that very shortly, but you will recall that when court had resumed this morning with the continued cross-examination of Thabo Mosia, he was basically asked about two statements that had been taken, witness statements from Gladys Khumalo, who is Kelly Khumalo's mother, as well as Zandile Khumalo, who is Kelly Khumalo's sister, in which they detail how a cell phone was taken from Gladys Khumalo. Basically, in that statement, Gladys Khumalo says that one of the suspects had taken a Samsung cell phone from her hand, and this is corroborated by a statement that Zandile Khumalo had given, where in it she says that one of the suspects was fighting with her mother and basically had taken the cell phone. Questions asked about whether there were traces that had been done on whether that cell phone was stolen, whether he had taken some statements from those witnesses inside. That did he verify with the witnesses in that house that a cell phone had been stolen? In other words, to investigate whether indeed that version of events was correct. Mosia basically saying that he did not ask any of the witnesses about that. So the defense really questioning how then, when he was told to respond to a robbery and a murder, he says when he received a call from a Brigadier Pilani Ndlovu, he was told basically that there was a robbery and a murder, but he didn't bother to ask any of the occupants inside the house what exactly was stolen. Another surprise move, as you correctly point out. The issue of this second docket, remember Desiree, there are two dockets that are believed to be associated with this case. In the one docket, it basically says that the 5 men that are sitting inside this court should answer to the killing of soccer star Senzo Meyiwa. And in the second docket, which is docket 375, the Director of Public Prosecutions in the South Gauteng Division had basically said that Kelly Khumalo, Longwe Twala, Zandile Khumalo, Maggie Piri, who is a neighbor, and others that were inside the house should be here to answer for the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. What Advocate Zandile Mshololo is now saying is that her client has been prejudiced because she only received that docket this morning inside this court, and she would need more time to peruse through it, including in that docket, we believe, is a statement that was made by the current witness that is on the stand. So Advocate Zandile Mshololo indicating she's not able to proceed without going through the contents of that document. We have tried on several occasions, Desiree. We have been talking about the second docket 375, and we've tried to understand from the prosecuting authority. We wanted to ask them questions about how the decision was informed. This docket 375, which has been raised by Zandile Mshololo at this stage, which she says she only received this morning, the docket relating to that, and she had actually heard about it only inside this court, this docket 375, when Advocate Malisela Tifo had brought it up, you would recall, much earlier on in this trial. So what she is saying is that she needs to look at the contents of this docket 375, which she says she received this morning from the state. She accuses the state of prejudicing her client in saying that this is basically a late handing over, if I may, in layman's terms, of handing over this document during the trial itself. We have made several attempts to speak to the prosecuting authority to find out what the latest is pertaining to this docket 375 and how the National Director of Public Prosecutions had decided that between these two dockets, the one docket which refers to the 5 gentlemen who are currently in the dock, or the 5 suspects which are currently in the dock, how do they make a decision that this particular case should be the one that goes forward? And what informed their decision that the docket 375, which says that Kelly Khumalo and the other occupants inside the house should not be brought here to answer to allegedly killing Senzo Meyiwa. So we're suspecting that this issue of this docket is really going to be a stickler in this particular case. It's been brought up here again. We're not sure if the matter is going to be postponed at all as a result of this, because Advocate Zandile Mshololo argues that her client is being prejudiced as a result of this docket being handed to her this morning by the state. Just after we resume, we know that State Prosecutor Advocate George Baloy is likely to respond to that, and whether that will lead to a further postponement in this matter, we certainly do not know. But the main question, I think, at this particular point, Desiree, is that how the decision came about by the prosecutor authority in South Africa to decide to go ahead with one docket, which speaks to the 5 suspects behind me who are in the docket to answer to allegations of or to charges of killing Senzo Meyiwa, and why the other docket 375, which says